What is the Sex Bootcamp Workbook and Sex Bootcamp course about? And is it a good fit for you? Sex is rarely about sex. If it were, everyone would be having loads of it. The sex you're having or not having tends to be a reflection of everything going on in your complicated and busy life. Ask yourself, is your sex life in a sex rut, or non-existent, or a thorny emotional minefield, or forgotten after a long season of life, like pregnancy or perimenopause, or flatlined and you wouldn't miss sex if it never happened again? Congratulations, you're in exactly the right place. Inside the Sex Bootcamp Workbook and Sex Bootcamp course, you will find a practical, easy to follow 5-step program that will take your sex life from just meh to toe curling. Oh yeah. FYI, the Sex Bootcamp Workbook and Sex Bootcamp course has nothing to do with sex and everything to do with your sexual mindset. The Sex Bootcamp Workbook and course start with an introduction that asks, what is your current mindset around sex? Step number 1 asks, why do you have sex? Do you have sex for yourself because you love it and enjoy it? Or do you have sex for your partner? Step number 2 asks, what stops you? There's a lot of things that stop women from fully expressing her sexuality. Shame, guilt, anxiety are like a thick tarp covering her desire, arousal, and sensuality. Number 3 asks, what do you want? Our sexual socialization has us believe that what we want from sex is an orgasm. But the pressure and expectation on women to have an orgasm with every single sexual encounter is a big reason why many women stop orgasming and eventually become apathetic about sex. Meaning, the way couples are expected to have sex is broken. However, and ironically, women are made to feel like she is broken. You're not broken. Step number 3 helps women take the focus off orgasm and tap into her pleasure spectrum. Step number 4 is ask for the sex you want. The number one thing that stops women from having a satisfying sex life is, drumroll please, asking for what she wants. Luckily, there's an extremely simple formula to give you the confidence to start asking. Number 5 is receive the pleasure you asked for. Majority of women find it incredibly difficult to lean into her body's pleasure. It is a learned skill that is easy to master. How do you know if the Sex Bootcamp Workbook and Sex Bootcamp course is a good fit for you? This is a good fit for you if you're too busy to do a workbook or a course. You aren't happy with your sex, but fixing it would be too tedious and tricky. You love your partner, but the sex, you fell into a faking orgasm hellhole and can't get out. You don't believe you could ever be super sexual again. Or does sex equate to a ton of resentment, guilt, shame, and anxiety? You're in a sex rut, want something different, but don't know what that is. And even if you did know what you wanted, you wouldn't know how to tell your partner. If this sounds like you, then the Sex Bootcamp Workbook and the Sex Bootcamp course are a good fit. So what are you waiting for? soul-fulfilling, relationship-enhancing sex life is waiting for you in the Sex Bootcamp Workbook and the Sex Bootcamp course. Good sex on your mind, but not in your bedroom? Go to trinareid.com and get your free copy of the Sex Bootcamp Masterclass. Listen and subscribe to the weekly Sensational Sex podcast. Join the success community to hang with like-minded, groovy women. Check out my award-winning fiction, The Sex Course, that went to #1 in its Amazon category 3 days after launch. Sex Course and Sex Bootcamp are available in audiobook. And make sure to connect with me on social media at Dr. Trina Reid. Until next time, stay sexy.